Episode 2, The Joke Alt That Became a Main. It's early 2005, right around the time started to drag leveling my warrior, getting a little restless, wanted to try some other classes. Mind you, I had tried a bunch of classes before. I had to create a new class race combo to make sure that I got to experience each of the races starting little video slash intro. Those were really, really cool. I really enjoyed those. I think I mentioned that previously. But getting to see each race's introduction and the narrative, that was so cool. So I never got them out of their respective starting zones. I had seen that there were RP realms on the realm list before. Now, mind you, this was before I knew really what an RP realm was. I wasn't sure if it was for real role-playing or if it was light role-playing. Not sure at the time. But I wanted to have some fun, so I pull up this role-playing realm, and since I'd wanted to create a funny alt, I figured, hey, role-playing realm, right? Have some fun, see if I can rile some people up. Definitely not something I had intended to actually take part of seriously. Thought to myself, now on these realms, like, what's the most ridiculous race, class, gender combo I could think of? So I thought about it, and I figured a sneaky dwarf female was probably the rarest thing I had seen so far in the game, and it just sounded pretty ridiculous. Like, I couldn't imagine the combination that was a little more ridiculous than that. I guess Night Elf Warrior, because I thought Night Elves were a bunch of pansies, because I wasn't a big elf fan. Still not. That's a different story. And I figured a female dwarf rogue would be pretty unexpected by most horde players in PvP, right? Who expects a dwarf to pop out of stealth? Pop out of boxes maybe, but not out of stealth. So I went and created my character. What do you call a joke character? Like, naming my main character that I'd been previously playing was hard enough. How do you name a joke character? Since the Lord of the Rings trilogy had just come out, there was a lot of Legolas X names for the Night Elves. I figured that dwarfs most closely fit hobbits, so I went with the name Baggins for my female dwarf rogue. It sounded ludicrous, and it was the perfect fit for my funny alt. I was a little shocked when I hit create that it wasn't actually taken. I figured it would have been a popular name by now. Over the next few weeks, while I was playing my new rogue, I noticed that over the next few weeks, I played my new rogue whenever my rested XP had run out on my warrior. I'd run around, kill stuff, then once rested XP ran out, I would just log into my rogue, because she usually had rested XP by then. I got her to level 7 or 8 pretty slowly. Found myself outside of the troll caves. I think it's called Frostmane Hold, pardon. And done Mogra. I remember dying so many times in there, guys, that I eventually rage quit. I didn't know what that was called at the time. I don't remember it having a term, but I was super upset with the horrible spawn points for the mobs, the patrolling mobs, and then they would always train other mobs into you. And those throwing spears, those trolls threw, they were killer. They seemed to reach all the way across the map. And now a lot of that was due to lag early game and hit detection, but wow, I would get knocked out of stealth. Trolls would suddenly turn around. I was way too close. Didn't quite understand how the stealth mechanic worked yet, especially in vanilla. It's pretty easy to break. And it was super frustrating. So eventually I just stopped playing that rogue, went on, created a few other funny characters, not on the RP realm, but on my other realm. Wanted to try like Hunter, Paladin, some of the other easier classes to play, at least so I thought. But eventually, I got my warrior to level 40, started to farm elementals in the Badlands for his mount money, but that didn't, last too long. I got bored pretty quick. I wasn't exactly sure how to make money in WoW at that time, so it went fast. I kill him for a while, lose my rested XP / get bored, and try and find something else to do. Not easy to find something to do when your goal is to make money and you don't understand how to do it, so you're trying anything. But I went back to that rogue, and of course by now she had over 100% rested XP. It'd be about 2 or 3 weeks since I'd last played her. So why not use that as a distraction? See if anything had changed. Sometimes a fresh outlook on a troubling situation is the best way to go. So I logged in to the rogue, and I remembered why I had not played her in so long. Those trolls were still there, still just as annoying, and I died a bunch more. I struggled mightily until I learned how to death train my body. And what I mean by that is you run as far as you can before the mobs kill you, die, go to the graveyard, run all the way back to your body, go as far in the direction as you need to, or as you can, with your corpse, or with your spirit body, ghost, whatever you want to call it, and then res there and repeat the process and run as far as you could. That's how I got the achievement, or it's not achievement, they didn't have those back then, how I got the exploration part of Frostbane Hold done. So it took a while. Finally finished that quest, turned it in, and after that things really started to pick up. The rogue class just seemed to fit me. Sneaking around, starting fights on my own terms, it felt right to me. It felt like my preferred style of play. I could plan out fights in my head from stealth and see what was around the mob or camp of mobs, or see if a patrol was coming. So much easier with my rogue than, say, charging pell-mell into the foray with my warrior. He had a bad habit of getting himself into a lot of trouble quickly, something warriors were very good at doing. Mind you, rogues are just as good at it if you pop out of the stealth at the wrong time or somebody detects you at an inopportune moment. It doesn't take much. Oh, and did I mention picking pockets? Yeah, once I figured out you could do that, that was awesome. I was definitely hooked. It quickly became an obsession. Good example. If there were humanoid mobs in an area, say the gnomes outside of Nomergon, I would stealth around picking all their pockets before going through and killing them. If another player was in the area, I would make sure to stealth in front of the mobs they were killing and pick the pockets of those mobs before they could kill them. I didn't want to miss anything. Remember, I didn't have an idea how to make money, so that's another idea in my head was like, well, I'm going to get everything I can whenever I can. Pick up pennies off the ground, essentially. Even if I was just running around / from one area to another with those turn this in here quests, I would run by, pick all the mobs in an area, not even kill them, just run through and pick their pockets just to get everything I could, money-wise and, kind of practice-wise too, because I wanted to learn the stealth mechanics. Vanilla WoW was very good at making you do something repeatedly to the point where you either got good at it or you quit. At least in my experience, it was either you took to it or you gave up on it. Eventually, though, weeks go by, I'm still trying on my warrior to get gold. I stopped logging in the warrior first, and I noticed the rogue started to take more of my time. I leveled through Lochmadon and into the wetlands, and around this time I found out that maybe responding to people's questions in chat with Lord of the Rings quotes and my name being a direct ripoff of that series might not be a good idea on an RP server. As you can probably guess by now, my name didn't last much longer. The higher level, the chat antics, and eventually I was reported. I remember logging in one day in the wetlands and being told, I think there was a little pop-up that I had to change my name, and I don't particularly recall what it said. Unfortunately, all those screenshots from Vanilla are lost. Hopefully not for good, but I can't seem to locate them. Anyways, reported. I'm like, great. Now what am I going to name myself? Especially now that I'm enjoying this character more, I want to play more, so I don't want to have to keep renaming myself or get myself banned or delete my character. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking at the time. So I tried a few other female names like Morgania from the King Arthur cartoon in the early 90s, but nothing was taking. Everything was taken. So there were so many people playing by this point that a lot of what I saw as good names or names that easily came to mind were taken. Eventually, I remember this movie from the mid to late 90s called Harriet the Spy. And since it was still kind of a joke all, I was like, why not? Harriet, it was a short, redheaded kid, and she went around spying on people. I'd never actually seen the movie, but the name just stuck. And so I was like, oh, boom, Harriet the Spy it is. Done. Sign it. And went on. Eventually, though, that level 20 quest that I love came along. Mind you, I did not love it originally. Didn't appreciate it until about my second or third rogue and how much fun that was. But the first time through, it took me forever to figure out that there were clues hidden in the quest text on how to complete this mission. I think I ended up doing it at like level 24 or 25 because it took so long. But that's about the time that I really felt like the rogue was unique and definitely enjoyed playing it. For better or for worse, through lag and broken skill mechanics alike, I was hooked and I couldn't stop playing my rogue. That doesn't mean I was on 24/7, but rather she was a character I logged into WoW to play instead of my warrior. Leveling through the wetlands and learning how to use poisons, thanks to that quest, and how to use new abilities really helped seal that deal. Not that I really loved the wetland zone, but rather that I ran into enough trouble there that I had to learn to surmount each challenge on my own. And the rogue was perfectly suited to running away from trouble. Broken stealth, vanish mechanic, and all. You learn how to deal with that eventually. My rogue and my personal play style really gelled here, and continued to do so up until Burning Crusade and into that for quite a while. That's going to do it for this vlog, guys. Got a lot more rogue stories to tell, and I want to keep going in the next episode, but it's not going to be so chronological. So I won't be telling you guys dates, times, events like that. It'll be more like, oh, I remember running through Skullomance or Blackrock Depths or something like that, and just giving you a little insight, because I can't remember specific runs, but I can remember groups and friends and events that happened while running through these that I enjoyed, and I want to share those, because that's kind of the point of this vlog series, is to share those experiences and help everyone relive the moments. So until next time, guys, have a good one and stay positive about Classic WoW.